All right. Fantastic. So thank you everybody for being on this community AMA and voice call. I know we normally do video calls just for this particular one. I guess we can even, regardless either way, you all know who we are anyways. So we're just going to do it on voice for this particular one. As you know, we usually do YouTube lives and video style AMAs and voice calls as well. I hope my voice is clear here. I just want to mention that we wanted to run this community-based AMA. I know we didn't do it with too much notice. It was almost like an impromptu style AMA, just as a check-in with the community, and to also give some community members a chance to ask some of their questions that they may have. But we're also going to be providing some general updates overall across Pleasure Network and a really good bit of news that we'll share before questions get started as well. So as you know, we did have our 12 days of pleasure and we wrapped it up, and we've gotten to a point now where we've had team expansions, and now we can safely say that these additional team members, they have not only their roles are in place now, but they're on track now as we've continued to expand our team as well. But one thing I want to share with all of you, this is a point that I want to share personally. I understand with some of the recent price action, we went up and then we went back down, and now we're hovering at this base market cap range before our next leg up. I just want you all to know right now, from my experience and what I went through in previous projects, especially one that you all are aware of, this was the exact same trajectory that went on. There were times it would go up to 15 million market cap, and then it would go down to 4, and then it would go up to 9 and 10 and 12, and then one time it went down to 1.8 and 2 million. This is part of a natural course of things that goes on as well, and this to me is completely normal, and we're not worried at all, because we have a lot of things that are happening, and they're going to be happening simultaneously as well as we carry these brands to the next level. So, one thing to mention as well, if you see that there might be moments or periods of quietness, just remember there isn't really quietness on the team's end. We're hard at work in the background, making sure that we're going to be delivering on all of our promises and to pioneer a chief cause of Pleasure Network being the dominant force in the adult space. And as we always say, bringing power back to creators to empower them all along the way as well. So just as a reminder before I get into some of the updates here as well, remember why you bought in the first place, whether you're an investor, remember if you're a creator, why you came into this as well. Always remember the reasons for why you started and why you're here all along the way, because our journey is going to be an upwards one, but at the same time, you're going to have periods like this, which are completely normal, and we're still really happy because we have some good bit of news that we're going to share shortly as well. As you know, I hope most of you read our recent Medium article that was written on the 12 days of pleasure wrap up. I will just mention a few points on some of the progress that has been happening as well lately. We will be having some updates around Pleasureland in the coming weeks, and it's going to be coming a lot sooner than you think, especially around our pink dolls and pleasure passes as well. So this is going to be some big news around that, and we're very excited to reveal some of that. We're actually in the midst and in contact with some major groups and entities that are going to be driving some major levels of traffic on Pleasurely side, and Pleasure Nifty as well, some of our core brands. So we're in discussions, and we're trying to make a decision now as a business as to which kinds of entities we want to onboard with us. And I will tell you one thing: there's power in saying no. I tell you, right now we're in a position where we're getting lots of offers. We're getting lots of different companies and brands. They're trying to collaborate and partner with us, but we're trying to be very careful at this stage, and we want to make sure that these collaborations and partnerships are not only right for Pleasure Network as a whole, but that they just make sense at the current stage that we're at as well. As I've mentioned before, our white paper and roadmap is currently being updated. Where, quote unquote, I believe this will be done before the end of the month. And we're going to have a very clear roadmap that's going to be updated, that's going to carry over all the way to Q1 of 2024 at the very least. Right now there's some big strategies that are happening around creator onboarding and generating mass traffic, as I mentioned, within our core brands, and Mark will share a little bit more about that as well. And we're nearly finished some exciting staking protocol updates that I believe our community will not only support but get behind as well. So there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes, including on the marketing side. We're very well aware that crypto marketing and adult marketing, that needs to be a primary focus. And we've always said before that we're ready for that, and we're already in the midst right now of doing all of that. And there's going to be one update that I'm going to share that I believe the community is going to be very happy about, which will help ensure on at least on the crypto side as well, where we can get quite a lot more exposure and target a new demographic or audience of investors as well. So this, again, like I said, this AMA in this call that we're doing now, it's really a touch base with the community. We really want to hear some questions from you all as well. We're going to be doing more regular AMAs like this at all times, because we feel that being close to the community and keeping them in the loop, both our creators and our investors alike, is paramount, and we want to make sure that we're leading in all respects, including in this as well. So I'm going to carry this over to Mark to share some other updates that we have before I share what I believe is a very big update and announcement, and you're all going to be the first ones to hear it now. So
thank you very much, Majid, for that and that welcome and everything. So I just want to go over what obviously Majid said, even though we've got some big stuff that Majid's going to mention. As we said many times during the 12 Days of Pleasure, sometimes there will be periods of quietness. I know Majid's just said it, but it doesn't mean that nothing's happening. We're all working behind the scenes. We're continuing to build, develop, plan, push, and drive our ecosystem. And as part of that, you see during the 12 Days of Pleasure, that we took over Vice World. We acquired Vice World, and part of that meant that we brought in more staff. And what we're doing at the moment is implementing the key individuals into roles where we can continue to grow and build. So there'll be a lot of key personnel that's come over that will strengthen our team. It will give us some expertise in areas that we may have not had before. So we will continue to grow and build, as I said. And at the moment, we're going through the structures and process that have been implemented, so everyone's aligned with the goal of taking Pleasure Network forward in big steps, basically. So one of the things that we're going to be doing is education is going to be very, very important for the whole ecosystem, both for creators and fans. And this is something we're working on as a matter of importance. So foundations are currently being laid so we can be the leader in this field, which obviously, if we're the leader in the education field around crypto, how to use it, how do you do certain things with it, then it will have a massive knock-on effect to the business and our ecosystem and our products. So that's something you'll see a lot of going forward over the coming weeks and months, and how we do that. So we'll have more updates on those. There's tons of development. I think Majid mentioned across the board on Pleasurely, Pleasure Nifty, and Pleasureland. Development teams, Cedric, Tim are working extremely hard and flat out to make sure that we continue to deliver time and time again. So you'll expect to see some stuff that will obviously take shape over the next coming weeks and months, etc. We've now taken the next step further and working closely with creators on new features for Pleasurely in particular. This will allow them to grow their revenue and for them to reach and continue to provide tools for them so they can effectively run their businesses in our ecosystem. So as part of that, we have regular focus groups with creators. So every 2 weeks we have a focus group with invited all the creators in, where we can discuss ideas, plans, feedback, and much more discussed within those. So we can continue to build the platforms that work in the most cost effective and the most effective ways possible. Obviously a big part of Majid and myself's job is the marketing, and everyone talks about marketing, goes on about marketing. We did loads of marketing through the 12 days. This is obviously going to continue, and it's key from both an adult and a crypto perspective. So what we're doing quite now is me and Majid are working really closely to make sure that we take the right paths, that we're aligned, that we look at the right opportunities, but most importantly, from our perspective, there's got to be a return on investment for not just us, for the creators, but for the whole ecosystem and so on. So this is what we're working on, and you'll start to see things happen as we go over the next coming weeks and months. But a core part of that is going to be traffic to our platforms and to grow our user base and increase the bottom line for creators and the business. So we're working on campaigns, routes to market, target demographics, geo-targeting areas. So that's the kind of key step for me. We can look at more onboarding more creators, and I'm talking to more creators from a Pleasurely perspective and from a Pleasure Nifty. But one of the key things we want to do is to make sure that we're getting the traffic to our site, because that's where the revenue is going to come for the business. I've talked about this, and give you just a brief summary. I've got a massive long list of routes to market. I've worked in adult for 18, 19 years now, and I've got a lot of routes to market. So we're looking at those. We're looking to widen our reach to get more eyeballs on our products. We're working through this big list and seeing what we can do and what we can't do, from sponsoring events, traffic as mentioned, tie-ups with brands, competitions, even some mainstream marketing opportunities in areas like boxing, MMA, pubs, clubs, advertising, SEO, ad networks. We've got this massive list, merchandise. So we're kind of working through it and making sure what's going to be right and what isn't. A lot of the list that I've mentioned is probably going to be more on the adult space, because obviously the crypto space is very, very different. But what we're making sure is me and Majid are aligned, because of what we do. What I do in terms of marketing will have an effect on the token, and vice versa. What he does on the token side, it will have a knock-on effect to the traffic coming through. So we're working really closely on that. You'll see we're looking to be upping our social media across the board. So not just on Twitter and Instagram and the Telegram group. We've got somebody that's coming in to help us with social media, specific Twitter, etc. Which Majid may want to go on about later on. But we're looking at other areas too that we can allow adults. So we're going to be building our Discord. We're going to be populating content on Reddit. If I'm right in assuming, Majid, we're going to be splitting the Reddit channel into two areas. One for adult and one for the crypto base. So that's going to be going gun-ho. You mentioned the medium. We're going to be populating that on a regular basis and making sure that we're getting out to as many eyeballs as possible and keeping stuff up to date. We've started new platforms in FetLife. We're looking at Clapper. We're looking at TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and beyond that. So there's lots of stuff going on. You would have also noticed more press releases going out and making it onto the biggest adult news portals in the world, like AVNs and XBiz. Why not recently? This will continue, and we'll be looking at wider reaches of new adult news portals in markets like the Asian markets, Australia, and throughout Europe. Then you add in, obviously, the work that Majid's doing on the crypto news portals. Our reach and our coverage will continue across the board. So we are looking at lots of stuff. Just because 12 days, we're not announcing something every day. We are doing lots of stuff. So one last, I think, really thing that we want to obviously talk about is that we're going to be doing regular Twitter Spaces sessions. I hope I'm not jumping on your toes here, Majid.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You can share about that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to be hosting regular Twitter Space sessions. So on the adult side, the creator side, we're going to be doing these every 2 weeks. Twitter Spaces sessions, which will be hosted by the amazing Liv and Shelby that obviously joined the team. The first one is pending for Wednesday, the 29th of March. So time to be confirmed, but this is going to be a regular 2-week occurrence. We're talking to creators and talking around obviously the benefits of the creative products we have, and then we're going to be doing regular Pleasure Network and crypto Twitter Spaces as well. So that's all to come, and we're going to be doing more regular, I think, AMA updates as well, like today. So that's it for me. Hopefully that's enough to get people's appetite wet. And show that pleasure is continuing. So yeah, that's it from me.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic on the update there. I just want to share a few full points before I get Tim to speak as well. One thing that Mark mentioned here, and I want to emphasize on this synergy. There is an overarching synergy within the team, within all the brands and products we have on the adult side and on the crypto side. We've now merged this all together in such a beautiful way where not only everyone is aligned, but as Mark said, right, anything that we do in terms of marketing on the adult side now is going to have a knock-off effect on the crypto side and vice versa. So we're very excited now on all of this, and especially with the new team members that have been onboarded, and with our constant updates and progress that we're doing across the board as well. We're very happy to, we believe that this is going to continue to drive growth. But the one thing that I want to mention to all of you, on the team side for us, we're going to be handling the paid marketing as always. We are going to be handling a lot of the big moves like partnerships and mass onboarding of creators and getting exposure for our token and all the various crypto channels and avenues that I know about for myself on the crypto side. But what we would like is, because we're now developing more channels for exposure and avenues to be able to expand our reach, we just need the community to do their part as well. We're talking things like retweets, liking, commenting. When we did the Reddit push earlier today, it'd be great if we have more people upvoting as well, right? It's that collective effort together that's going to really, really help drive our growth as well, since we're in it together and we want to be unified. With that being said as well, I'll take it over to you, Tim.
Yeah, so thanks, Majid and Mark, for these lovely words. And hello, everyone that is listening right now live, and everyone that will be listening back later. I think you guys sum up the things that we're focusing on and doing. The whole 12 days of pleasure were spot on in time frame that we use as a kickstart for the rest to come. And the market is slightly more positive. I mean, even very bullish. We had so much shit with the bank, the Silicon Valley Bank falling, and Bitcoin stayed at the same price, and it even got a pump. And I really think that we might not enter right now, but the bull market is not far away. Together with the team that expanded, and we're still expanding, and I'm bullish for the company, like what you said, Majid, that we are like the synergy is one of our core focus right now, to get that synergy and to get everyone to align with everyone, to work on the things that matter and are important and urgent, and it all comes together. And therefore, I'm also very bullish for Pleasurecoin, because that's the fuel of our engine. I think this bullish momentum is something we are not leaving behind. We're taking it with both hands. And maybe Majid, you can share some things that you wanted to share along this.
Yes. The key thing I want to share here, and I think there's been an emphasis in this conversation so far. We've shared an expanded list of our plans and all the kinds of marketing that we're going to be doing and all of these kinds of initiatives. But the big thing really comes down to timing, right? And timing is everything, right? And we believe on the core team that the time is right now to start to explore and make some I would say, quote unquote, bigger moves and make bigger waves, for example, on the crypto side, since this is sort of my specialty and where I come in. And I'm just gonna say it once, and we're talking exchanges, right? So we're actually in discussions with various top exchanges right now, and we are making a decision at this point as to what the next exchange is going to be, that's going to not only list Pleasurecoin, but it's going to bring a huge new audience of crypto investors that not only are going to buy the token, but they're also, once they buy the token, as we said, with this synergy and kind of combining all of our efforts into this unique platform that we have, that's also going to knock on to creator support and getting more subscriptions for creators. That's going to help. That's going to knock off to Pleasureland and Pleasure Nifty and Pleasurely as well. And so this is something that I've been waiting for, something that I've been really excited on. I know Tim, I've been on Tim's case for quite a long time about this. But we feel like with the recent momentum that's been happening in the markets right now as well, that and the positioning that we have overall as a company, that this is the right timing. So that is the big piece of news that I wanted to share right now. You're the first to hear it here, is that we are in discussions with some large scale exchanges. And this is a big part of some of our geographical marketing pushes, because as you know, every exchange also has a primary demographic as well. And so, it's about targeting multiple geographics, and it's about expanding our reach to an existing new base of crypto investors that we feel when they learn more about Pleasure Coin itself, that they will buy in. And so we're very excited to share this, and we feel this is an appropriate next step in the development and the pioneering of our cause, as I said. So that's the big piece of news that I wanted to share, is that we are in active discussions with multiple exchanges. Now, whichever one we decide on, of course, is going to be up to us. But I tell you, we're looking big at this moment.
Definitely. Thanks for the update. I'm super excited. I think that the timing couldn't be better. More people in more countries will be able to buy Pleasure Coin. So it will be beneficial for everyone, I guess, in our community. So is it time to ask some community members to do the questions?
Yes, absolutely. I think right now we can move forward with community-based questions. We really hope that people will ask questions as well. And if not, that's also not a problem. We're obviously going to get right back to work as well. So.
Yeah, so if you want to ask the question, we can unmute you, and you can just ask the question if you like, or you can type it in the chat in our Pleasure Coin main chat, and then we will answer them by reading them. I don't know if you can raise your hand, or that you just have to say that in chat as well. I know that in Twitter Space you can raise your hand, but I don't know if it's possible here.
I think we have to allow them to speak if they raise their hand in this particular call. So. So I mean, there was I think there was one question, and where was it? Oh yeah, which Mark answered that. Yeah, but that's just for everyone to hear. Jason had asked, isn't an affiliate program good to try to generate more traffic? And Mark had answered, yes, indeed. We are working on our referral program, which means we can look at affiliates. Yeah, this is something that we've definitely had in mind, and we're working towards as well, because we do realize the impact that it can make. And I believe we have, I just unmuted you, Ferksa, so you can ask your question. Oh, Joe Power asked that question before. So I unmuted you, Ferksa. So if you have a question, feel free.
Right now?
Perfect.
It's good.
Yes.
Okay. So my first question is, are we started working on a payment gateway for the token, so others will start to use it, or is just a plan? This is the first question. The second one, are we gonna be present on the Bucharest Summit end of March?
Okay. So the first question you had mentioned about, you said payment gateways you mentioned? Can you elaborate on that one question? I didn't fully understand that one, and then I'll answer that one first. Ferksa, are you there?
Hello, it's here.
Yes. Can you just repeat the first question, please? I misunderstood the first.
It's a payment gateway, so other website can implement the NSFW token.
So,
I think
understand.
team is get it.
Yeah, I get your question. I will try to answer that. Yeah, we have definitely have that on our roadmap, and we are trying to build the current payment gateway that we use for Pleasurely to be able to be a plugin later on. So we created everything with the thought that it could be a standalone payment gateway or a plugin for others as well to implement. But everything at the right time. So yes, we have created it already in a way that we can easily scale it if it makes sense. But at this moment, we really want to use and learn a lot with our own platforms to be able to make a very scalable product. If you have something with some issues still and you scale it, then you get a lot of problems. And now we have a few problems that we can fix. So it's basically an iterative process that we enhance the product. And once we think it makes sense, or once we talk with the partner that needs it, and we think, this is the time, we will definitely create the payment gateway and try to get as much other websites to use it as well. So I hope that answers your question, Berkshire. And I can answer your second question too. So I repeat your question. I think that you said, are we going to be present on the Bucharest summit in May? I think it was, if I'm correct. So that's an affiliate summit, if I'm correct. But we did talk about it, Mark. Maybe you can you remember that? But I don't know if we are going, because we also have other things that we want to maybe go through. So we need to make decisions of where we spend our time efficiently.
Yeah, we did talk about it. Yeah, it was. We've looked at basically every event that's possible, including XBiz Miami, Bucharest Summit, XBiz, the AVNs, etc. Our focus at the moment is going to be around the traffic side of it. It's very much going to be around getting eyeballs on the platforms, and a lot of these ones are kind of more industry led or more creator led. And so our focus at the moment, as much as we'd love to do those, we don't believe what we need to do is to focus on getting eyeballs on the brand and on the products that we've got. And these shows, I'll be honest with you, would be a waste of money for us as a business at this moment in time, because we won't get a return on investment. So at the moment it's about return on investment, and return on investment is going to be about traffic, eyeballs. So these other stuff will be looked at later once we actually do the other marketing. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have done as well. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it comes down to again, like we said, how we spend our marketing spend, like how we utilize it, and whether it'll be effective for that moment in time. So again, it goes back to what I said. It's all about timing. We've had discussions around attending these kinds of events. That's not something we're not ruling that out. It's just, if we were to make a decision now between going this direction or going that direction, we feel that right at this moment, the spend could be used somewhere else more effectively, as Mark said before, to generate an ROI as well. But that is in the plans and is part of our future roadmap as well. So good question. Are there any other questions or anyone who wants to raise their hand that's on the call right now?
There's a question from Joe Power that is quite relevant at the moment. Is there a learning program for crypto dummy like me? And can we invite interested new investors? Because many models are still afraid for crypto. So we mentioned something a few minutes ago, but maybe we can elaborate a little bit more about our plans. Like we have been saying for a very long time that education is one of our biggest missions and important, I don't know, goals to help. If we achieve on the education part, we will achieve the mass adoption eventually. So we are doing all kinds of experiments. We are creating content at the moment for some kind of course or just some instructional videos for our creators at the moment. But we will expand that to general crypto explainer videos or articles, or maybe even e-learning, so that we can help everyone that is in need to get some education around these topics. To get them on a crash course and get them on full throttle as soon as possible. I don't know if that makes sense and if that answers your question, Joe Power. But it's very important for us, and there will be a program for that.
And if I need to expand on this a bit more, if you need me to expand on it, but just to back up what Tim says and what I said, education's important, especially with crypto, especially with and it's not just crypto for creators, but it's crypto for fans as well, because we're basically telling this whole community that's been so used to paying with fiat for 10, 15, 20 years, now is a new payment type of solution for you. So we are in the process of, like Tim said, with education. We got these videos that we're making up. We're working on stuff. So we're gonna. I don't like to be called it a crypto for dummies, but we are going to be going back to basics with people, and we want to be the leader of that. We believe, and I believe that we're the biggest crypto adult project out there, and we want to lead going forward in everything we do, and education is going to be an important part of that. Can I just add, rip random, Lil Miss, I love you, and she'll know what I mean.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, and again, just to summarize on that as well, I've said this before. I haven't seen a single crypto that has successfully bridged that gap on the 99.9% of people that are not involved in crypto to ease their transition into crypto, and it all comes down to not only education but simplicity. But this is also a systemic sort of a systemic thing around all of crypto, but that doesn't change the fact that we are still going to be driving major traffic from existing crypto bases as well. So just remember that this is in addition to what we're doing now, that's going to be supporting creators and also supporting the NSFW token and the fuel growth that comes out of that as well. So that was a very, very good question.
Yeah, I agree. And Lil Miss says in reply to Joe Power, if there's on the comment, if there's a learning program in the making. She says, I'm happy to somewhat guide, help initiate a fellow creator. So that is already something that you could be doing, not only creators, but also your fan base. You can just make a selfie video of you explaining how to buy Pleasure Coin, for example, or how to upload something on Pleasurely, or how to like. Anyone can do that, by the way, not only our creators, of course. So the education part is mainly our goal, but also, if you guys want to help on that part and explain how things work, you are allowed to do that. I even would love it if you would do it. So I think that, I want to add that.
Perfect. I think we had a question. Jason in Pleasureland, will our recently minted Pink Dolls have exactly the same characteristics when they're live in the metaverse? think that might be a question for you to answer here, Tim.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. So let's see. The question is exactly the same characteristics when they're live in the metaverse. Okay, so what Jason, can you elaborate a little bit more what you mean with same characteristics, like the visual the visual characteristics, or yeah, something else? The vision. Okay, so yeah. So what you can see right now in on the NFT image, basically, is the 2D screenshot of that doll. That doll is a 3D model, and it's very detailed with all kinds of statistics, and you can see the properties. If you look at a pink doll, you can see the properties, and that exact properties will be implemented in game as well. So if you go to pinktower.pleasureland.com to look at the preview, then you can also already see a doll standing there. But the doll that you have minted or that someone else minted has different characteristics, but will look like described in that properties. So, and you will be able to modify some things, like in the real world, that you can do some plastic surgery things or something like that. But we are working out a way to get the roadmap shared with you guys as well, so that you guys can also vote on what is the most important thing to do. Well, what you most likely want to see. So we can either implement surgery, or we can implement interaction or multiplayer mode, something like that, so that you guys can vote where we put our development power first. The characteristics, the visuals will be the same as your NFT right now, but then you can really interact with it. So I hope that answers your question.
Perfect. Yeah, that was a great in-depth answer for that as well. Just double checking now if there's any further questions from the individuals that are on the actual voice call, and I don't see any hands risen at the moment. And well, I guess we'll ask maybe for one last time if there's any questions. If anyone would like to ask a question right now, feel free. And if not, then I think this could be a great time to wrap up as well. And of course, as we said, we will be having more consistent community AMAs and updates, and especially when we have big launches and even in bigger news to also share as well. So.
So when is the next update AMA going to be, Majid? Did we already plan that?
I'm thinking for now it'll be, I think in 2 weeks from now, I would say. That's what I was anticipating. 2 weeks from now. And of course we will let the community know a little bit sooner as well, so people have time to plan and schedule in, being able to also attend it live as well. So
yeah, cool. Well, if you have any questions later, just type them in the chat with #AMA. We will gather the questions for next time, and I'd say that we can wrap it up then. Majid, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is a good time to wrap it up. And as I said before, this was a check-in community AMA-based voice call. We're going to be doing more of them. We did provide some great general updates. We did also tease around some basically what I feel is is extremely hypey news and what's going to actually take us to the next level in terms of our exposure and our brand awareness and also investment potential as well. So we do have a lot more surprise news that we will be sharing, as we had said once before, and during all throughout the 12 days of pleasure that we had, is we have enough news to roll out for the rest of the year, really. So stay tuned for all of that as well. And one last thing I want to remind you all, it's really, really critical, because as we are expanding our presence, we just want to, we would like you all to take charge of your investments as well. And when you start to see more community engagement based initiatives, which will be coming in rapid fire format, in addition to all the other initiatives that we have planned, just do your part in support, encourage that community member near you as well, or next to you as well, because what ends up happening is when more people start doing things, even more people start doing things, right? And it becomes this domino effect, right? And we could use your support as well. We handle the rest. And we're here to ensure that your place here with what you own and the stake you own for NSFW, or if you're a creator here as well, that we are going to make a major difference in your lives, and we are going to all reach financial freedom together. But just along the way, just be a little bit responsible for your own investment as well, and support. So because if we have 1 or 2,000 people supporting all together, it's just that's the best form of marketing, regardless of how much money we spend in any area as well. Other than that, like I said, in around 2 weeks, we'll have another update call. We'll let you know a little bit sooner than that, because I know this was a little bit more on an impromptu basis. I really want to thank each and every one of you for being on the call and taking time out of your busy days as well. And we're extremely thrilled to be serving you all, and to have your support on what it is that we're building, and this is really inevitable where we're heading. So stay with us, keep holding, continue to dollar cost average, if you see fit and if it makes sense for you and you're able to, before we get more expensive as well. And again, as I always say, give yourselves a pat on the back for recognizing what an amazing opportunity that you have in front of you, and I love the amazing community that we have here as well. We're in this together, and nothing's stopping us. So until then, we'll chat with you all soon. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.